latest news from Stadia.
Now then, we had three new games. Well, actually, we had more than three, but we had three
Mhm.
games announced from Stadia in their community blog post just the other day. They were Super Hot Mind Control Delete, Strange Brigade, and Sniper Elite 4.
Yep, three games which have been announced there. Uh, Super Hot Mind Control Delete. This is basically a re-announcement of this. This was announced many months ago. It was coming to Stadia, but now we've complete official announcement for that. There's going to be a lot of confusion with this, so I'm just going to break it down nice and easily for people. If you picked up Super Hot uh, as a pro game, you will have to buy this as a separate sort of game and expansion. If you bought Super Hot, you will get this expansion stroke new game for free. So just to reiterate that, if you've got this as a pro deal, as in you got it as a free pro game, you will have to buy this game. If you bought it out from your own pocket, you won't have to buy this. So that's a
Okay.
bit of confusion about that game. So I think the vast majority of people will have to buy this game.
Right, because I do have it, and I have played a bit of it, but I haven't completed it. But I know that it's not the first one's not massively long, is it? Because I think it was developed for the old VR, and they tend to be fairly smaller games, don't they?
Yep, the day was developed for VR. It was also developed in a game jam. For people who don't know what a game jam is, that is, you've got like 24 hours or 48 hours to actually make a game, and they made the concept during that game jam, and they just expanded it out as well. So it's a quite fun, and it's the most innovative shooter I've played in years. For
Wow.
anybody, if anybody gets that joke, that is actually a joke for people who play the game.
Went over my head.
Yeah. So, uh, yeah, it's a really good game. It is, even though that was a bit of a joke there, it is an innovative game, and yeah, it's well worth checking out.
Excellent. And the other two, Strange Brigade and Sniper Elite 4, they are from Rebellion, are they not?
They're both from Rebellion. They're both older sort of games. Sniper Elite's a couple of years old, and Stranger Brigade is actually a bit further out there. It's many years ago, but they're going to be two good games to get onto this system because more games are better. Not all games will appeal to you. It's always better to have more games than less games. So just get them out there and we can enjoy them. Uh,
Yeah. No,
some
I
int-
played Sniper Elite 4 and I played it with my little nephew, little George. We had great fun. It's a really good game. I love the Sniper Elite series anyway. That old kill cam is something to behold. But it's really good fun. I'd absolutely play that again.
yeah, absolutely. I would be playing that as well when it comes out. Should we go into some speculation? Do you want to be?
Is it positive speculation, Duncan? We
I
don't
think
do negative speculation.
no. It's positive
Ooh,
speculation. I think we're going to get
speculate away.
Strange Brigade as a pro game this month because it's the timing of it coming out is very suspicious. It is coming out the 1st of August,
Okay.
so that would lead you to think it may be a pro game uh, for this month coming up.
Ooh.
If you want to get a bit more background of Sniper Elite, Stranger Brigade or Strange Brigade, and Zombie Army 4. There's actually a book sale going on where they're actually showing off their
Rated T
background
for
and
teen.
their novels, and you can pick that up for £1 or $1.25, and you get five
Okay.
books.
So
And
that's
that'll
like all the lore and the backstory and all that stuff, is it? Is that what that's all about?
yeah, that's five novels in their universe, so it's well worth picking that up. You can check
Oh,
that out
wow.
on Cloudy, and it's like
5 novels?
yeah,
Crikey.
five books. So off you go if you want to get more info on it for £1 or $1.25. It is well worth checking out at that sort of price, and you actually help the devs as well because they are big supporters of Stadia because that's going to be free games onto the system.
That's true. So is it a bit like zombies then? I mean, it's I'm guessing it's using the same engine as the Sniper series, or I mean, this looks like Lara Croft to me, or kind of.
Yep, it's a bit the Strange Brigade one is a bit more adventure-y. It gives me the vibes of a bit of a Indiana Jones, but again, I'm pretty sure it's co-op again.
Okay.
Sniper Elite. With Zombie Army, you can just jump in and just go around shooting things. It doesn't matter which gun you've got. In Sniper Elite, I think the name's in the title. You're going about sniping.
Sniping
So,
elitely.
exactly. So it's a bit more stealth-orientated here. So it is well worth checking that out as well.
This Strange Brigade looks fun.
It does.
Yeah.
And yeah, it's thanks thinking the chat. I wasn't 100% sure, but I was pretty sure it is 4 players as well, so you can play this in co-op. So again, we're getting these two games are going to be more co-op, which we've talked about many times before. That is a big thing for Stadia, is that they really like their co-op games.
Yeah, personally, I prefer Littles, but it's a personal thing.
I thought
little UK joke there, folks.
I thought you would be more Marks and Spencers, to be honest.
Yeah, you thought I'd be more Marks and Spencers. Actually, do you know what? I'm not being funny, mate. I don't shop. I mean, forget the old lockdown. I leave that to people that are far better at those things than me. I couldn't tell you where our grub comes from. Cheapest possible place. If I have anything to do with it.
So you steal it then? Everybody, we've got it on the stream here. Rokk steals his food.
I don't. Yeah, well, we grow a bit of it in the old garden, mate. That's one of the things that we do. We put spring traps for cats. Passing hamsters, that kind of thing. Any road up. Big news. An update for Wavebreak. Now, Wavebreak actually has been a really popular game, hasn't it? In spite of the fact that it did launch, it was kind of really hardcore. I couldn't get past the first level, but the update should fix all that, yeah?
The update should make things a little easier. They're increasing the times for the campaign because I think it was 2 minutes before, and I'm not sure if anybody else. I was struggling to get even one thing done in that, because if you remember for the campaign version of it, you've got a number of challenges to do. You've got like a checklist to do. I got about 6, 7 of them done, and then I was beginning to struggle. It was a really tough game. So what they've done, they've listened to the community feedback and they've dialed things down a bit. I still think they need to dial them down a wee bit more and maybe add in a wee tutorial.
Yeah.
But there is fun aspects to the game. The multiplayer death matches are great fun. You can dip into that, and there is a lot of things here. Some of the big things they've done is they've added HDR support. I'm just sorry reading this off the camera here. They've added the biggest.
You've got a fancy camera that you can read stuff off of. Wow.
Oh, I thought I was looking off camera.
Oh, right. I want one of them.
Yep. So they've just adjusted things. You get more money, so you can go to the gym to upgrade your character, so that makes things easier. They're trying to make it. They're still trying to make it a tough game, but I think they've realized that the learning curve is too high and it's too hard for a lot of people to get into. Right. So they've actually reduced it down. What's shown off there, or partly, was the deathmatcher. Again, if you're not into the skateboarding things, when this game goes on offer, it is even worth picking up for the multiplayer death matches, because it is good fun. And I believe they are going to be increasing the number of people who can take part in them shortly. So
we did. It was one of our Rokk reviews, wasn't it? One of our earlier Rokk reviews, and I think we rightly said that as much as it is a great game, and we're all for supporting independent studios, absolutely, all the way down the road. But we just felt that for casual gamers, the people that we're trying to champion, it's maybe at that time it was maybe just a little bit too complicated. I haven't played it since the update, or when I don't think you have either yet, have you? I don't think it's out yet. But what do you think this will help? Will we need to go back and re-review it? That's a question.
Some people have went back. I've had a quick look at it. It's easier. It is still a hard game. if that makes sense.
Yeah, yeah.
They've reduced it down, but these are positive steps going forward. But here, the biggest positive you can take from it, they're coming back and they're listening to their community feedback. People say the game's still too hard. I think they'll go back and maybe adjust
Yeah.
some more things because they seem to be very responsive to the community.
I know. I did see. I think it was Bill from Stadia Cast said to them, similarly, yeah, love the game, but found just the learning curve, the initial kind of curve to get up into the game was way too long, and they said, yeah, that should be less, but we haven't made it easier. So and to be fair, that doesn't. I mean, you were mentioning the other day, Duncan, that Celeste, as a game, everybody raves about it, but it's real hardcore platform. So there's a place for that, and not every game should be simple and easy in a 5-minute play. Just from our perspective, if you are a casual gamer with very little time to spare, that's not necessarily the game that you're going to put at the top of your list.
No, not at all. It's some games I have absolutely zero problems with games being for really, really hard. Like your Dark Souls, your Celeste, which is coming, or this game at all. But if you're trying to cater to the wider audience, you do need to have the different levels.
Yeah.
A game I'm playing at the moment on a different platform, which we won't mention which platform, is Neon Abyss. It is a roguelike, and roguelikes are usually you've only got one sort of level. It's really hard sort of thing, but they've actually made an easy mode, they've made a normal mode, and made a hard mode, and that just opens up so many doors, and it makes games just so more appealing to people. It is really it is the bit for me. If you're going hardcore, that is absolutely no problem at all. But I think most games should have like an easy mode, a medium mode, and a hard mode, just to get everybody out there, because everybody's at different levels, and sometimes you just want to come out and just play. You like the look of the game, but it's a little too hard, so you might just drop it down to easy, and there's nothing wrong with that, and you can just go and have fun.
Yeah, and we're all about attracting a new audience, and that's a lovely little segue, Duncan, to our next piece, which is these two guys, Lamar Wilson and Dan TDM, which I know if you're into YouTubing, into game streaming, you'd know who these guys are. I didn't have a clue, but I did watch this young chap, and he is rather professional. Now, the interesting bit of news here is that they were both sponsored to do a piece on Google Stadia, and I have to say, they did a good job. I mean, I really enjoyed. I have only watched young Dan's piece, but it was excellent. And I'm guessing that Lamar is famous for making weird noises and screeching at the top of his voice just purely by the images that I'm looking at. But is this a sign of things to come?
I absolutely do think this is a sign of things to come. In my different forums and in different places I've went and talked about Stadia, YouTube is going to be their number one selling point going forward. Yeah. And what I find really interesting about these two videos that they did, what the two games were they were Karina and they were Orcs Must Die. And these two games are basically Stadia exclusives. Orcs Must Die is on PC, but for console players you will need people to play this on Stadia. So it was two brilliant games to actually showcase, and I think that they did a good job of selling the service in both of these. It's going to be absolutely brilliant going forward for Stadia when all these YouTube features come on board. A game I just did a big review or preview on is Death by Chocolate, as we call it.
Death by Chocolate.
Death by Chocolate. Death by Daylight.
See, you can't say it now, can you? It's so in your head, you can't say any different.
Yeah. And that is going to, if YouTube and Stadia work together, they could absolutely make here we go, bad pun coming, a monster of a game for this going forward. Yes. Coming up to Halloween, get streamers on playing it, showing off crowd choice, letting their viewers jump in. This is going to be absolutely massive. And then you've also got Bomberman coming, which we've done another preview of that as well in Cloudy. Forget the numbers, it's just went from 60, 70 odd people playing Bomberman together. And that it's got crowd play as well. Drop a link in. I think that's going to make it onto our Saturday or Friday night thing. Just drop a link in there, and then people can just join in and play. getting
Sorry, go on, mate.
I was going to say, getting Dan TDM especially in
Yes.
is absolutely massive. The number of people that follow or subscribe to him on YouTube is scary.
Well, 23.5 million apparently.
Yep,
That ain't
and
no small beer, is it?
it definitely isn't. And then you've got the other guy, Lamar Wilson. He's got nearly 2 million people
Mm,
subscribe to him. So you're talking two major players in
mm.
that sort of screen or in that thing. So this is a real positive for Stadia that they're pushing out to these ones. So
Yeah, no, Andy, and hi Andy, how are you, bro? In the chat is saying exactly this, that he's a legend. He is a legend. I mean, I'd never watched him before. I think I'd heard younger folk mention his name, but I did watch the video and I was super impressed. I thought it was excellent, really enjoyable. I just had it all going down. But he does the whole video is on Crater, and absolutely. I mean, I wanted to play it genuinely, watching it. I thought, yeah, I want to get back into Crater. He did a cracking job. I mean, one, brilliant for Stadia. Two, fantastic for Crater, which I know is Andy is championing, rightly so as well. So yeah, absolutely excellent. Great to see that happening. I'd love to know. I'd love to see the data. I'd love to see what numbers increases they have seen since these two gents have been commissioned to do that piece. But they both, to be fair to them both, I think you would tell if they weren't impressed, and they both seem really impressed, as much as they were, getting a couple of quid and a bag of toffee apples for their troubles.
yeah, but what I want to see going on forward, I would like to see a series of these games going on, or series of videos from
Yeah.
from Dan TDM, because that's what's going to be key going forward. We need lots of videos from these and people, not just one-offs now and again. If the Mar does like a playthrough of Orcs Must Die, a full playthrough, or Dan TDM just goes back in every couple of weeks and create it, that is going to be massive as well. These one-off things, I'm hoping are going to go into more longer-term sort of ones.
No, definitely, fantastic. So that's great news. That's lovely to see. And then we were we were rocking around the clock on Wednesday night, and we went live with a massive piece of breaking news. I mean, it was probably I would say Pulitzer Prize winning and one of Duncan's most important and impressive pieces of journalism ever. So much so that he can't wait for me to cover it again. And it is, of course, that household favourite, or Uno, is coming to Stadia at last. And we know we've all been waiting for this.
Yeah, again, this is just another game to get people on board. It's another Stadia game.
Of course.
It's co-op. It's going to be a game to dip in and out of, because that is just something, again, which we're seeing. We're seeing lots of games you can play, dip in, dip out, and go back to it now and again. Like, there's so many party games coming to Stadia, and that's, to me, that's absolutely grand, because
I agree.
You can just Stadia, you don't have to download them. I feel like a wee game of Uno here, fired up. I feel like a game of Monopoly, which is already on the service, would just fire it up, and you don't have to download it. You don't have to wait. And then we've got like Get Packed as well.
Yep.
We've got so many games like this where you can just you've got a party in the house. Christmas is coming up, or Christmas. Your Christmas party, you've got all your folks around, you've got your family around. Oh, we'll stick this on because everybody can just join in and have fun.
Yeah, and I think one of the concerns that quite a few of us had was that when they do bring out the family share, which we'll have a little chat in a second about that. So don't go away, Jem, because you might even get mentioned. But when they do bring out the family share, the fear was that we wouldn't be able to play games at the same time. And obviously, if you're encouraging developers to pull up Uno and Monopoly and co-op based games, that kind of defeats the whole object of having everyone in your family having access to Stadia. But we'll cover it up in a couple of news items down the road. We think now, largely thanks to the work that Jem's been doing, that might not be the case. So we may actually get an opportunity to play with our loved ones at the same time, which is excellent news.
Yeah, it is. What I would say, we've just qualified this all. if you even go back on the James videos, and the work he does is absolutely amazing, going through everything.
Yeah.
They have changed the family sharing. Everything is a movable feast.
Yeah, it's all in flux, isn't it?
Yeah. So what is saying today could be different what it says tomorrow, and so on. So just be wary of what everything's doing. Jem is just reporting on what he is seeing now, so that is amazing.
Yeah.
So
They're doing an amazing job. And don't worry, I'll be blowing some more smoke in a second, mate. We'll get to you. He knows I love him. Right, so that's Uno. And then we quickly flick across to our friends at Google, who this week have put a bumper bag of deals our way. Again, this was announced this week on the community blog. Very quickly, let's run through these. So we've got new ones in the sense that they've never been pro deals before, I'm assuming, or that they're new for this crop of pro deals. Yeah, okay.
Yeah.
And we've got, what have we got here? We've got Assassin's Creed, still one of my favourite games on Stadia. I'd still dip in. I haven't completed it yet. It's one of those, do you know, I mean, I did do a review of it in my very early videos, and I said at the time I thought it was a high marking casual game because truthfully you can jump in, do a couple of little missions, jump out again. It's all super easy. You can park your way all over the place. Yes, my lady. Little Thunderbirds joke there for you folks. And, just generally chill out. So it's great to see that they've dropped that down to what would be approximately £15 in this fair aisle. Mortal Kombat 11. They've they keep chipping away on that one, don't they? I think it was I think it has been at a lower price, but it's still kicking around at a fairly sensible price. And I know, again, they're not. I'm not a button masher, but I know that people that aren't even massively into those games say this is definitely the best one. You know, if you're going to have one in your library, you will have fun with it. NBA, that's gone back up because for a little while that was cheap as chips. As Sonny said in his recent review, probably not a good time to buy it because we're couple of months away from NBA 21, 2K21, which is going to be on Stadia. And at that point, this will be a ghost town. So yeah, you pay your money, you take your choice. I personally would probably leave that. The Crew for $15, that's good. That's a great game. We've got a gold edition for just a couple of dollars more, so you may as well pay for the upgrade. And Trials Rising, which keeps bobbing along. I've got a theory about Trials Rising, actually. In fact, I've got a theory probably about a lot of these here. And we did cover this a little bit, didn't we, as part of our breaking news on Wednesday. And the theory, therefore, isn't much of a theory because it was yours. I've just realised I got it from somewhere. No such thing as a unique idea. And that is, of course, that Duncan said on Wednesday, and we're going to hold him to this, that Uplay Plus is probably, I think you said October, didn't you, Duncan, for an October release?
October 10 when the big games come out, the Assassin's Creed, Valhalla, and Watch Dogs Legion to get people buzzing about that. So yeah.
And so, you're going to expect them to drop the price on a lot of these titles leading up to Uplay Plus coming to Stadia, because once you are in the Uplay Plus land, you won't be paying for them. So they're going to be trying to squeeze the last pennies out from the towel before they bring on the Uplay Plus, aren't they?
Yep, exactly. And here's something to get thinking about. Everybody, myself included, was every month you predict the Ubisoft game is going as a pro deal.
Yeah.
Or maybe that's something we should do at the end. Our pro deal.
Pro deal prediction. Well, certainly this time of the month. Yeah.
Our free pro game of the month. But every month everybody predicts like a Ubisoft game, and we haven't had one single Ubisoft game as a free pro game as yet. So
curiouser and curiouser, said Alice.
So
yeah, I think we're very close to Uplay Plus, and we've done that to death, so we know what that's all about. Everyone's excited about it. It's coming, but we're going to see more and more Ubisoft deals, I think, as we progress. Very quickly, those that haven't committed to the $10, £8.99 a month, you've also got some decent deals. So Lost Words Beyond the Page for $12. What's that? Roughly £10. What a great game that is. Again, support independent studios, folks. They need it. Those AAAs don't exist without these guys. So let's throw. I'm always up for it. If I see an independent title on here, I buy it. because at the end of the day, it's going to a great cause. Mortal Kombat again. They've got Mortal Kombats. They've got the NBA 2Ks. They're not massively different in the prices. Red Dead Redemption 2. Oh, I so much would wish that would drop. I have played it and completed it on PlayStation and loved it. But I just so want to play it on Stadia, and it's just never going to be that lower price because it's an eternal high seller. They don't need to drop the price. Supply and demand, folks. So and the crew as well. So they're all in there. There's a few others that have been there for a little while that are worth looking at.
I'm going to add a couple of wee things here. First thing is first, as Kelly has just said in the chat, if you have not used your £10, $10 off, they work with these deals, even though they're not meant to work with these deals. So you could actually pick up a couple of these for buttons, basically. My take on games which are worth at this sort of price, Assassin's Creed, if you've got your £10 off, is a no-brainer. It is an absolutely amazing game, and you can dip into it, dip out to it. As like you said, you can do you can do a couple of the camps or whatever. It's a perfect game to dip in and out of. The Crew 2 for $15 or £10. And Kelly got it for £6, and that was the gold edition.
Nice. That was a great deal.
Because she didn't use her £10 off, so she got it really cheap. And the game you have mentioned as well, Lost Words Beyond the Page, if you have not picked that up, 100% pick that up. It is a real good game, and it's something completely different out there.
It's a very intelligent, beautiful game. I mean, it looks great. The story's amazing. I did hear somebody the other day say, "Oh, if you want to get a game and dump the kids in front of it," no, I wouldn't do that. I would sit with the kids and play it with them because there are some questions around mortality that I think it's better if you're there to support them. Just me personally, I'm not a big fan of dumping kids in front of TV. But playing it with your kids, you can have some fantastic conversations around the content of this game.
Yep, exactly. It's a real good game just to play along with the kids. I wouldn't dump them in front of it. Play along, talk them through the story as well.
Yeah.
And as Happy has also said, there, Red Dead Redemption 2 is finally getting an update off of the online.
Oh, wow.
So we're going to go into that a bit more detail on Cloudy in the coming days when we get even more info on it.
Fantastic. We shall look forward to that, my friend. That, I believe, is it as far as the news is concerned. We've covered a fair bit of ground there, haven't we? So I reckon we should move on to this.